wife. My name is Oana Yara, and I'm hosting the Omakase Show webinar series. If you're new to this series, just a bit of introduction is we have weekly Twitter spaces and also webinars that I'm hosting where I interview either cool companies that I personally like or digital artists that I've been following and also enjoying their works. And before we dive into today's episode, I just wanted to remind you that you can always support our show by going to our profile on Twitter, which is the Omakase Show, and then there is this cash button and you can send your donations in Ethereum, which is always highly appreciated. Thank you so much. And today we have an incredible guest. So me and Eric, we have like a really long story. I used to work at a company where we were doing an acceleration programs, and Eric and his gallery, which is called Avant.Dev, was a part of this acceleration program. And the most like exciting thing about it is that we also will be talking about Latin American art, because Avant.Dev is a physical art space located in Mexico that have a lot of achievements. And we have here Eric, who is a curator and I feel like also co-founder. So thank you so much for joining me, Eric. I am honestly like shakingly excited, like shaking and excited.
Thank you, Lena. I'm really happy to be with you. Yeah, as you were saying, we have met for some years. I think like four or something like that. I didn't don't remember when was that program, but I believe that it was a good opportunity to network in the digital and virtual space. So for me, it was a very good impression and very professional.
And can you tell us more about yourself and how you started working within art space, how you opened Avant.Dev? It's a risky thing to do, to be honest, to open a gallery anywhere in the world. I think it's even harder to manage in Mexico because it combines digital art, which is also like still evolving. And yeah.
Yeah. I was thinking in that in the morning when I was showering, and I was trying to remember. And I think that everything started in a summer in the 2019 in Paris. It was a really interesting time because I had time, I had like the energy and the scope to try to understand what was happening. So I managed to go to an tech event that it is like an tech event that is mainly in the business and public sector, but also it was happening the art gallery weekend in Paris. So for me, it was more like how ambitious you can be and how capital can grow in the art market and the technological scene. So for me, it was more like an vision. I remember to going to Perrotoni Gallery, like going to these amazing installations, and I was like, oh my God, I need to bring this to Mexico.
Wow, that's a really impressive story. And when did you open the gallery, in which year, and when you started adding digital art to it as well?
When I started to study, I think the boom of the .com was starting. So for me, starting on a gallery, it was more like an starting an entrepreneurship or more like a startup. So it was more like I need a name, and I tried to find a name that it was Avant.Dev. I remember to buy it in a pre-sale, like it was like a pre-sale of premium domains in the .dev sector. So I think that when I saw that pre-sale and I remember that I found the Avant.Dev domain, I decided to found the gallery.
Sounds like a
Yeah,
really nice
it,
story.
yeah, it's like the 2020, like something like that.
Okay, that's quite early, I think. And from your experience, what was the first reaction? So you did it, and how people took it? Because obviously Mexico is a really artsy place, but then also I think you were one of the first to open a digital art space, in a sense.
Yeah, I think it was a window of opportunity because we started in COVID times in the pandemic period. So Mexico has an window of opportunity because it was the only country. Well, it was one of the three countries that never closed borders. So for us, it was something like pretty sure that Mexico it was coming to become a hub of culture. So we started throwing exhibitions in gardens because we needed like do it in public spaces, safe spaces mainly. And then we started to collaborate with the European cultural sector, and we managed to bring some strategic alliances with the techno club scene in Berlin. So we worked with the Tresor Foundation and Guerrilla Foundation that are very grass-rooted foundations in the club scene in Europe. So for us, it was like a networking of sharing experiences with the European club scene and the Mexican art and club scene in Mexico City. So when we started the gallery, we started with the code of the night of the rape. So for us, it was like an uh, art exhibition with a rave that includes techno music.
Wow, that's a beautiful combination. Another part I want to emphasize on is people. So basically, you showcase emerging artists, you showcase mostly Latin American artists. You were also focusing on supporting members of LGBTQI plus community. So as a curator, I want to dive deeper into your vision and how bringing together all these individuals shapes your curatorial approach.
Yeah, it was amazing because some of the artists that has been exhibited from Avant.Dev and that now we represent like main gallery, they are friends or people that we knew in the stage, like performing or in forums or in some spaces where we can chat and know each other. For me, it's trying to find an scope where you find individuals that are trying to create ambitious art projects like they can be in the art contemporary digital NFT or music sector, but I believe that the thing that we are like trying to find is how ambitious this can be in terms of scarcity of the technologies that you use to produce your art. So we are bringing into our next exhibitions artists that has been experimenting in the technology sector, but also they have been performing in the art contemporary art market, like in the formally in the galleries. So I think that it's a very interesting combination.
On Regis itself, I will open your website. Maybe you can tell us a little bit more about the artists that you have in Avant.Dev.
Yeah, they are mainly emerging, steady, and very well-known artists here in Mexico City. They are like focused in creating communities, like creating networking, collaborations. I have to say that something that it's really interesting in Mexico that people believes in collaboration. So that's something that enables creativity process. So we also try to find every kind of collaborations like this one. Like this is felting like it's something that is like from wood, like something that you need to do it by your hands. And I believe in advocating soft power skills. So I believe that when you bring this kind of expressions into some spaces, you create safe safe, safest spaces and more democratic situations.
Indeed. And so this medium on a wood, is this traditional for Mexican culture or not really?
I believe it is in the nuances of the Mexican culture, but also in the fight of the feminist movement. I believe. So all the things that are done by the women that do textiles, I believe that it's like that kind of expression.
Wow. I'm just also your artsy profile, and so you are not only focused on artworks and artsy, so more and why you decided also to focus on digital artworks and in general like this intersection in between physical and digital works.
Because for me, when I started to realize that I wanted to start in the arts market, I was attracted by the contemporary art market. I really like materiality. I believe that sometimes a painting can say more than a blue screen. So for me, it was clear that we need to bring that. And also, the way that we started is that I found this paper from Serpentine Galleries from the legal part that it's called Art and Tech. I think it's like some kind of five papers that they have been releasing under the name of Art and Tech, and they have been creating these frameworks of how art markets can be enabled under some creative ecosystems. So I complemented that diagram with some expressions that I believe that are part of our heritage in our culture, like that one from Milka Goldaracena, that she was trying to bring her heritage to the arts market.
So I was looking through artsy, and this is a piece, this photography is the one that just caught my attention. It's like really, I think it's like a really an intersection of like everyday life, but also like a beautiful film photography. I love this one. This piece is really great. By the way, is this one also digital or physical print?
I sorry, the conversation it stopped. The
Oh,
sound.
you lost me, right?
Yeah,
Um,
sorry, I can now hear you.
yeah, sorry. It's sometimes when I'm sharing the screen, I can get lost. So I wanted to ask you more about this piece, if you are selling it within a digital art copy or only physical print. And in general, this piece caught my attention and I really like it.
Oh yeah, that's a great question because I believe that we try to create a framework with we focus in three main things to create like a quality control. We focus on materiality, dimensions, and engineering. So this piece is like printed in a very good technique that it's like in a study that is rooted here in I believe in Mexico City, and it was mainly a photo that was shooted from a mechanical lens and then printed in a textile, I believe, canvas. So for us, it was really special to not only to try to manage the visual part, but also the tactile one that you can feel like there is something that you can touch, like the man that is handling the rope.
Yeah, it's beautiful. And can you tell me more about Venice Biennale that you will be participating in? First of all, congrats. It's a really major achievement. That's indeed like really impressive. Can you tell me more? What are you planning to do? What are you planning to showcase there? Will it be physical or digital or both?
We received this invitation to participate in the Personal Structures Venice Biennale in Palazzo Bembo, Palazzo Mora, Marinetta Gardens. So it happens from April to May, no, from April, May to November in 2026. It's run by an institution that it's called the European Cultural Center in Venice, and they invited us to exhibit as an a gallery. So we are bringing as a part of the Biennale of 2016, 2016, six artists that are in the digital, virtual, and contemporary art market in the physical. So we are bringing from screens to music to coding to some kind of lighting. So for us, it's going to showcase and scope for over 7 months of our curatorial process. And we hope to manage to create great connections. We are bringing to CNDSD that it's a very amazing and rooted technological artists here in Mexico City. Mariana Tov, Murakit, Nicolo Jean, Maria Rebora, and Sofia Costa. They will create this connection and identity meaning for Avant.Dev in the unique context of the Venice Biennale.
Mexico or somewhere else?
Sorry?
The artists are local artists that are based in Mexico City or some other places and cities?
They are from mainly from Mexico City. For example, Mariana Tov is from Chihuahua. I believe that Condensada is from the, the lands near Mexico City, and most of them has been like uh, growing in parts that are far away from the center of Mexico City. That it's very big Mexico City. It's something that you can get lost, but they always come to the roots of Mexico City to engage with the subcultures and underrepresented art scene.
And can you tell me more than you will be also participating at London Art Fair, which is also again congrats. It's also a
Yeah,
big
yeah, yeah.
achievement. Can you tell me more about this exhibition? If you are planning to use the same one you are doing in Venice, or you are will be changing it a bit? In general, what are you preparing to do in London?
For London Art Fair, it is amazing because I think that we are preparing an very nice and niche selection for that fair. I believe that the London market is different to the Venice market. In Venice, you go to the roots of the art contemporary market, and I believe that the London market is a most fast forward market. I believe that I will I'm pretty impressed of how ambitious it can be, how audio and live video studios and how costly and complex some exhibitions can be over there. And I always remember the time that I've been in London, all the stories about how the capital glow in the art market and the club scene. So we are bringing four young perspectives, leading by Murakit, Sofia Costa, Maria uh, Rebora, and Mariana Tov, that they will be trying to communicate with the young and collector this young collector base scene with new pieces that are going to be different from the Venice part, and then we are going to try to manage to throw an networking party over there, like So I think that it's going to be amazing.
I'm sure it will be. I'm sure you will love it. And in general, it's really nice that you will be working on this. Another part that I got like really curious about, it's always hard for physical art to be transported, and I feel like you will be crossing continents. So this is where digital art is like easier to manage because you can just, well, you don't have to transport it. So in general, I wanted to check if you want to tell me a little bit how you're handling the logistics, both for physical art pieces and for digital ones that you will be presenting in London.
Yeah, I think that everything starts with contracts. We are trying to manage everything with the smart contracts all over there. Like, is the secure way to manage that you are representing someone, that you are managing things. So the main thing that you need to do is to secure the contract with the spaces that you are participating, and that opens the possibility that you can talk with some providers in order to manage the logistics. We are evaluating the possibility to work with international partners and local partners to develop the logistics and the infrastructure necessary to create a bridge over the European and Latin American markets. So for us, it's not only like trying to manage to get the pieces over there, is to creating the infrastructure to get over there, like trying to create the correct ecosystem with the right partners and with the fair prices.
It sounds like a really nice mission. And can you tell me more about which message are you trying to get out there by participating in these two European events, like major ones, Venice Biennale and London Art Fair? How do you envision public seeing your showcase and more of this curatorial approach that you have behind it?
I believe that the message of Avant.Dev and the artists that are on there or representation is that we can collaborate with the common ground issues that we had in this modernity. Like, we can create the environments to speak the things that was not able to be spoken. So for us, bringing an art exhibition is creating the spaces to talk about the things that are meaningful around us and the things that are going to struggle us over the time, and the things that maybe we can handle to talk in other spaces. So for us is to bring a space, a safe space to create an networking and a very like-minded experience and meet people, great curators, great collectors, and great people that is in the art scene, and try to expand our ecosystem that we had started to creating here.
Thank you so much for sharing this with me. And I've been searching for the artists that you mentioned, Murakit, and I also believe that you have an artwork right behind you by Murakit as well. Is this correct or not?
Yeah, this is from Murakit. This one,
Yeah.
yeah, this is interesting because, for example, Murakit, she is like coding everything, and she handled to do this textile with all the pixels, managed selecting each color of the textile that has been here. This can be founded as a like a minted NFT. So for her, she has been exploring how to find the materiality in the art market that is in the NFT sector. She has been throwing some amazing shows in some galleries, and she has been interviewed by some really amazing underground art magazines, digital and physical. So I'm really excited to represent her and bring it to the European market.
She has I shared shared on her social media. And it's like aesthetics, computer aesthetics mixed, a lot of pixels. I love how it looks.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. She has this aesthetic of retro 8-bit games, and and also she works with all the things that has to be with engines for creating video games and things like coding, and she also works with anthropomorphic bodies. So she managed to build some bodies that are from different 3D objects. And she tries to create a narrative of the things that sometimes happens in the night. Or she created this person that it's called Murakit. That all the ladies that you see over her art are Murakits. It's an it's an how do you say, it's an identity, and a virtual identity. It's like an Roblox server. and and I believe that she has this well rooted um, style on the night and the glitch art.
It is beautiful and quite catchy, I think, indeed. Well, I wanted also to ask you to tell me more about Latin American art in general. In your opinion, you've been doing this for a really long time, for like a few years. If you see the shift, if you see the growing demand for Latin American art, if you see the rise in curiosity in this concrete culture and artworks produced in there.
I believe that the Latin America art market is growing, but it needs to be professionalized. I believe that we have been seeing like many art residencies here in Mexico and Latin America. Many artists try to find inspiration in the great ecosystem that Latin America has. Like, you know, you can eat real food over here and live and try to find the inspiration by the sea or the sky or the forest or the desert. That there are a lot of things that has been waiting for the humanity over here, and I believe that now this kind of interest needs to be materialized. Like, people needs to start to invest in this kind of expressions. So for us, it's more like a way to create like an exposure strategy, like trying to say, hey, this is here, like, and it's not going to wait forever.
That's fair. Thank you so much for sharing this. And can you tell me, like, the final question would be, what are you working on right now? I know that you have a lot of stuff in your pipeline, but maybe some other projects that we kind of can look after, maybe some artists you're putting on board, and yeah, like an outlook into the future.
Yeah, the thing that we are trying to manage to really bring something that is substantially good for the arts market is that we are bringing also technology into our exhibition. So for us, exhibiting in an art fair is bringing contemporary art pieces, but also art consultancy that can be handled by artificial intelligence. So we have been investing over the last 3 years in AI, and we have been developing our core tools that we have been handling to our artists. So what we can expect in the next exhibitions are exhibitions that are not only driven by the creativity and the talent of our artists, that I believe that is 80-90% of the things, but we are also bringing technology to create this creative process with AI, with creating models and prompting text and trying to find the right references or words in order to try to connect with our audiences. So for us, it's like Uberizing the art sector.
Sounds like a lot of exciting plans. And I just want to thank you so much for joining me today and sharing all of this. If you have any last thoughts or maybe something I haven't asked you about, feel free to share now.
Oh no, I was the last thing that I want to say is congratulations, Olana Yara. I believe that you have been accepted in your Master of Marketing in Paris, and I have seen
Yeah,
your also your created exhibition that you have been throwing. So also I was very glad to be chatting with you. I believe that you have been doing some amazing things over the last years, and I'm really excited to connect and meet your audience.
thank you so much. And we are definitely staying in touch. I think I won't be there for once an art fair, but I have a dream of visiting Venice Biennale. So perhaps I
Yeah.
will be able to see your exhibition. That would be just incredible. And I want to thank you so much because I feel like you're doing something quite niche and you are definitely different from other galleries I know and have been talking to. You have a clear vision, a really quite strong identity. And I think you're doing a lot of beautiful things to build up this infrastructure. And thank you so much for joining me today and for sharing all of this.
Oh, thank you to you, and I was very glad to have this opportunity, and I think many things are coming in the future.
Yeah, bye, definitely.
Bye.